Get ready for Trumpapalooza. That's the name the RNC chair is calling the upcoming planned 2026 midterm convention, hoping to highlight, quote, all the incredible things that this president has done. And while Republicans rally around 47, CNN's data guy says the Democrats basically want to 86 their leaders.
Take a look at how Democrats who disapprove of congressional Democratic leaders, hello, we're talking about 57% in January of 2026, the second highest disapproval rate for Democratic leaders from their own party on record. There's basically been no improvement. Democrats hate their own congressional leaders. These numbers are awful, awful, awful.
Crazy Crockett and Zoran the Destroyer are getting floated as the future of the Dems, but James Carville and Bill Maher both say the party should take a hard pass.
Crockett has said that Hispanics who voted for Trump have a slave mentality. That's not very smart. That will bite you in a general election.
Democrats seem to be having this debate whether or not Mayor Mamdani is a socialist or a democratic socialist. Let me settle it. He's a straight-up communist. But if liberals deny it, like he's just going through a goth phase, they're going to lose more elections. This is not a communist country.
Kayleigh, the midterm convention, what are your thoughts?
I love it, and here's why. Jessica always dutifully brings her polling, but I always dutifully bring mine. And here's why I think this is such a good idea. And I think we're baiting Democrats into doing this. They did this in the 1970s. Democrats are now considering this. There are at least 2 states advocating for it. The polling, yes, it shows Democrats up on the congressional ballot by +5. They were up +10 in Donald Trump's first term. But when you do comparative polling, people don't like the Democrats. And when you say, the Wall Street Journal did last week, compare Republicans and Democrats. Republicans are +28 on border security, +11 on immigration, +6 on economy, +6 on inflation, +5 on foreign policy, +2 on tariffs, and then Democrats lead on vaccine policy. Okay, so that's what they've got. So I want to see contrasting visions. I want to see Donald Trump's vision, Republicans, and Democrats' vision, because any good pollster would tell you contrast messaging is what you want in an election year. So let's provide the contrast, bait them into a midterm convention, and if they don't want to do it, then Donald Trump can just take the publicity in the airwaves.
Oh, do you believe you guys are being baited into having a convention?
No, I don't think so. And I'm not sure where I fall on whether Democrats should be doing this or not. But I agree with Kayleigh about the Wall Street Journal polling. It just drives a different conclusion for me, because I think that that means, based on the fact that Republicans are rated higher than Democrats, but Donald Trump has terrible ratings on every single issue that matters to voters, that you should actually keep Donald Trump off the trail. Right now, Democrats have more than a 20-point advantage on who is more motivated to vote in November. That's how midterms work. That's how historically the party that's out of power wins something back. Maybe it'll be just a blue trickle hoping for a tsunami. But if you have Donald Trump out there every night in our faces, we are definitely going to show up. And there's going to be more opportunity for him to say things that aggravate, that offend, that remind you that he thinks affordability is a hoax, that he thinks that, you know, we've only gone after the bad hombres, that God knows what he'll come up with.
It was just a hoax that you guys were running on it after you paused
so
it,
anyway,
Jessica.
Donald Trump up there every night will help the Democrats win in November.
All right, so Dana, you hear the Democrat perspective. They want Trump out there.
Well,
they say he's got bad numbers.
I mean, am I wrong? This whole thing started for the Republicans because the Democrats said they were going to do this. This is like about...
You baited us?
Yes. You baited us. Yes, that's what happened. Several months ago, the Democrats said they're thinking of having a midterm convention. And about, you know, a couple of hours later, there was a True Social that said, I think we should have one. And I was like, you know what, sir, you're right. But here's why I think it's not a bad idea for both sides. Everyone's invested in what's happening in the country right now. People are paying a lot of attention. The Republicans, beyond just going out and saying these are the great things that President Trump has done, they need to say, why do we need to keep the majority? It's not just to keep him from being impeached, it's because we want to pass X, Y, and Z, and they've passed nothing pretty much, except for those big bills. Also, conventions like this can get everyone on the same page, and it can give us a lot of reason, you know, to cover the news.
Yes, and go to the conventions, which hopefully will be in a sunny state.
They're looking at Vegas.
They're looking at Vegas, baby. All right, you can lose some more cash.
I don't gamble. I don't gamble or drink. My vices include killing friendly animals. Listen, My question is, where's Republican leadership on this? Why is it that Donald Trump has to find peace all around the world, fix the economy, take away our dependency on China and cheap labor, run the country, and also go raise all the money to get people elected in an election he's not even on? I mean, I understand different people have different strengths. I think Mike Johnson's almost this sacrificial lamb being hung out to dry. He's not a dynamic person. He's not going to be able to raise a lot of money. He's making a lot of close call deals with Dems to get stuff out of the House, and everybody behind him is just waiting on him to get fired. So I think there's a lot of Republicans in Congress that would be just fine being in the minority so they could complain about everything, raise money, and be in position to be in power next time around. And that scares me. That bothers me. I mean, there are people, Doug Collins might be one of them, I'm not saying that was ever in his mind, whose brand was elevated by impeachment trials and defending President Trump or defending policies. And so
you're saying Republicans in the House want to lose the House?
I'm not saying they want to. I'm saying they haven't put any effort into keeping it.
Well, but that's partly because he blots out the sun, and he can do it.
I get it that Donald Trump's someone different, but where is the dynamic personalities that are actually running for office, raising money? The one thing Matt Gaetz could do is send out a tweet and raise money. I don't know that many people in Congress
money.
can.
Jasmine Cross can raise every time
You're
they
right.
say crazy stuff.
I know, but on the Republican side, we got Donald Trump.
All right, we'll see how it shakes out, Jessica. I'll see you in Vegas. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.